Every service business owner I have worked with has had the same experience at least once. A new client signs, everyone's excited, and then somewhere between the contract and the first deliverable, something gets missed. A task nobody owned, an email that fell through the cracks, a deadline nobody knew about, and the client's first real experience of working with you is confusion. That's not a people problem, that's a systems problem. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the exact ClickUp onboarding system I use with my own clients, the one that makes sure nothing ever falls through the cracks from the moment someone signs. I'm Hina from IT Visionists. I'm a ClickUp Services Partner and have built onboarding systems for over 200 services businesses and consulting teams. What I'm showing you today isn't a demo I built for this video. It's the actual system running in my business right now as well. I'll show you the structure, the automations built into it, and exactly how to adapt it to your business. By the end, you'll have everything you need to set this up today. Before I show you the system, I want to name 3 problems it solves, as I want you to recognize which one is yours. Problem 1. Onboarding takes too long. Every new client feels like starting from scratch. There's no repeatable process, so you and your team are reinventing the wheel every single time. Problem 2. Things fall through the cracks. Tasks live in someone's head or in an email thread or in a chat message. Nobody has a single place to see what's done, what's not, and who owns that. Problem 3. The team doesn't know what to do or when. There is no handover system, no trigger that tells the delivery team a new client has started. No clarity on who does what in the first week. One system fixes all 3. Here's how it's built. Let me show you where this lives in my workspace first, so you understand the structure before we get into the detail. I have a dedicated client project space. I call it Active Client Projects. You can rename it to Delivery Projects or whatever suits you. Each client gets their own folder, and inside that folder, one of the first lists that gets created is the client onboarding list. This is deliberately separate from the active delivery work. Onboarding has its own workflow, its own statuses, its own timeline. Once onboarding is complete, we work on the implementation list. Clean separation, no confusion. Now let's get into what actually happens inside the list, because this is where most onboarding systems break down. People set up the structure, but they don't define the task clearly enough. I organize onboarding tasks into these 5 phases. Phase 1 is pre-onboarding, second is client workspace setup, then internal kickoff, kickoff call, and post-kickoff. You can adjust them and add more if needed. The moment the client says yes, the pre-onboarding phase starts. This includes confirm the contract is signed, confirm the initial invoice is paid, set the client deal to one in the CRM, confirm the record is added under active clients, and set their status to onboarding. Everything that needs to happen before the team even knows about them. Phase 2 is client workspace setup, getting your own house in order before the client sees anything. Notify the team about the new client in ClickUp Chat, determine the account manager who will own their relationship, welcome the new client, create their folder in ClickUp, and add assignees, set up views for each role, and add or remove tasks based on the specific scope of this agreement. As each client can have different scope, so in the implementation list that we have, I adjust the scope based on what's been agreed for that particular client. Third phase is internal kickoff. It is here where you set up the client folder in Google Drive or Dropbox, set up the password sharing in the software, and then you plan for the internal kickoff meeting. Phase 4 is where you have the kickoff call with the client. It's better to keep it separate because you can have more tasks coming up. I have an automation in place for the client onboarding form that gets added once the form is filled, so you will see that later in this video. Then the post kickoff, where you update the client folder in ClickUp with everything that was missed or provided during the meeting, send follow-up email with action items and any additional requests, and mark onboarding as complete. Now, in addition to these custom fields, the phases that I have, there are dependencies set up so that you know that until the contract gets signed, you can't kick off anything that is related to onboarding. So that's why you see that the confirm contract is signed. This is blocking the confirm invoice for the initial phase is paid. Then the invoice one is blocking confirm that the client record under active clients is in the CRM. So all of this are dependent on each other. and the time durations are set up accordingly. So if I will change the due date of the first task, that is confirmed contract is signed, because of all the dependencies, the due dates for all of those tasks will get adjusted as well, which is really handy. Then there is a status field, time estimates if you want to see how long it's taking so that you can improve the process as well. And then there is a department field, because each of these tasks that we have can belong to different departments, so we can assign the departments as well. And if you have dedicated team members who always do the signing process and the invoicing, then you can set up the automations as well, that if the department is this, then assign this field to that person. Now this is another advantage of setting up dependencies, where you can see the Gantt view, and you can see that there are some tasks which are working in parallel, and then you can drag and drop the dependency, the tasks here as well, and because they are dependent on each other, and it's easy to drag them there as well to reschedule. Let me show you the onboarding form. So this is the form built in ClickUp. Now I have copied the form to show you how it looks like in the browser. So this is how it looks like in the browser, and we are sending it through the welcome email as a link, and the clients fill in that form. So you see that all the important fields are there for the client to fill in. And now when we go to the automations, you can see that the automation number 2 says that when a form is filled, then change the status to review and comment to notify the assignee. So what it is doing is that when the form task is particularly filled, when the source is a form and the task name contains form submission, because when the form is filled, the task gets created and it has that title form submission within it. So if that's the case, then change the status of that particular task to review and add a comment for the assignee that the form is being filled, so that they know that the client has filled in the form. Now this first automation is when the status changes to send email, then send email. So what it's doing is that we have a task name that contains welcome new client. So if the status of that particular task changes to send email, we have an automation in place that will send the email to the client contact person email. So make sure that you have that field filled up before you have this trigger of sending email. And then there is a subject defined, and in the body you can add the custom fields like client contact, and because I am the creator of this email, I want to send this on my behalf, so it's the creator username there. And then I have the onboarding form link there as well, and then it also has the call schedule link. So the calendar link is there as well, so that they can schedule the kickoff call, and then it's picking up the signatures. So this is really handy. You don't have to type in the onboarding welcome email all the time, and you can automate it. Now I'm going to change the status of welcome new client, but before I do that, I want to provide the email so that I know that this email should go to that particular person. I have to make sure that the email is there and the name of the person is there. So this is what the 2 fields that I want to fill in first, and then I'm going to change the status to send email. And you will notice that there will be a comment added as well, so you can see that the email has really gone. If it doesn't go somehow, then you get an error message as well, so you know that this hasn't worked. So it could be an integration or your emails are not working, so just refresh them to make those work. So this is how it looks in the email. I'm clicking on the link to fill in the form. I will quickly fill up this form, and then I'll go into ClickUp back again. And now you'll see that under the kickoff call, we have the task created form submission, and the status is being set to review, and it's being assigned to myself. So if we open that, all the fields are being filled in, and then the automations are also triggered that an alert for the assignees that this client has submitted the form. So once you're okay with this setup, you can set this as a template. I have this template available for you to download as well. The link is in the description. So you can download it and you can customize it as you need based on your departments and phases, whatever they are, and the fields that you want in the form. So the link is in the description. Feel free to use that. And if you find it helpful, let me know as well. So yeah, this is all about the client onboarding. If you like it, please press the like button and subscribe to my channel for similar videos. Thank you so much.